Okay, this video is called Why My Books Are the Best Medical Books Ever Written. Some of the best medical books are ever written, for example, Walter Kempner's, volume 2 of his medical work. It's an incredible book because he shows you all these diseases can be cured. And he does have a lot of chest x-rays and he has some retinal photographs. That's fantastic. But he's writing for doctors and it's pretty technical. Not many people could read that book. Okay, Dr. McDougall's book, Starch Solution, is magnificent. It's like the best nutrition book of its time, and it's a fantastic book. Okay, it's like one of the cornerstone books that a person should read when they study nutrition. It's fantastic. Okay, but I'm also going to now talk about in the current generation era of books. I'm doing some things that no one else is doing. Okay, well, first of all, there's what you expect in any great book. There should be useful new information that's actionable. You can change your behavior and it's going to improve your life. It's going to empower you. You'll notice when you read conventional books, conventional medical history, it's always like, this new surgery, this new thing that you must come in and pay for to get as a treatment. It's not what you could do for yourself. The book should give you a new skill, how to study, how to prevent back pain, how to cure a disease. That's valuable knowledge that empowers you. Should have clear, memorable explanations, and the unique thing about my books is they typically connect a whole bunch of disparate information into a useful, memorable whole, okay? All these fields, I can easily connect them: nutrition, epidemiology, toxicology, biochemistry, pathophysiology, the migration studies, and make it easy to understand. Because most nutrition, once you get to the point, it's easy to understand. There's a great pioneers like Nathan Pritikin's books are fantastic. You build on all that. Like Dr. McDougall said. Dr. McDougall said, don't even challenge me or debate me on nutrition until you've at least read Kempner and Pritikin. And I totally agree with that. That's the basics of nutrition. Kempner, Pritikin, McDougall. And then you should also read, a couple others, of course. Burkitt, Esselstyn, T. Colin Campbell. Okay, well, these are like foundational books. There's other great books out there depending on what topic or subtopic you're interested in. But those are some of the books that everybody who studies nutrition should read those books. A good book, I always make my book 16 font. Because, people get older, it's a pain in the ass to try reading 11 or 12 font. Short paragraphs, easier to read. The book should be concise. You don't need to make a book that long, okay? The author should have a voice. One of the big advantages of self-published books is you can take whatever tone you want to the book. I've written a bunch of books for publishers, and they really control you a lot because very often what they want to do, their goal is to make money. They don't really care that much about the book. And they want to get it into foreign markets, so they want you to use simple language. They would take out the jokes, the metaphors, anything potentially offensive. Well, part of a book being good is that it is a little offensive, okay? That it offends current thinking at the very least. Another thing important about a book is that it only tells the truth. In order to get sponsors, you usually have to lie and sell something. So the book should I only tell the truth. So anything I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure it's the truth. It's the truth to the best that I can tell it. Do I ever make a mistake? Sure, everybody does, but not too many. Let's see, what else? That the author has a voice. Like, you can't put much author voice and personality. My style of writing is basically like I'm writing to an intelligent friend. I don't dumb my books down because my attitude is dummies don't read books. Why should I write it for stupid people when they're not going to read the book? Only high IQ, motivated people are going to ever read one of my books. I'll have color-coded text, drawings in color. Occasionally, if a metaphor matches a painting, I'll throw an old painting in there. A beautiful cover. Like, here's an example of one of my really best books, Prevent and Reverse Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, Parkinson's Disease. And you'll see, there's pictures on almost every page, and that's just a typical way they are to make things a lot more easy to understand. Let's see, what else? There should be some big, giant, useful new thing, like an academic orgasm, okay? That's why you write the book, because you got something new and useful to say. If you don't have anything new and useful to say, why write the book? And you look at the field. If something great and magnificent has already been written, then there's no point writing that again. But if you got something new, useful, say it. And you got to be willing to say some stuff that's going to piss off some people. Otherwise, you're probably not saying much. Something that's a little controversial. Like, tell the truth that olive oil, omega-3, high-protein diets, MSG, MFG, they're all a joke, okay? So you got to tell the truth about that. Let's see, I got some other stuff on this side here. That was the main stuff. There's other stuff that you want to know for Amazon. For Amazon, have a nice cover. Then have something a little funny, a little bit iconoclastic, if you would, in a good way. Right in the beginning, show a picture right in the beginning so they know there's going to be that. show contrarian views right in the beginning so they know there's going to be something interesting. Give them good information right on the first page because they're going to read that on Amazon and they want to know, because usually the crappy writers are just trying to sell you something. There's all this fluff, and promises. Whereas a good book should be, boom, something useful right in the first, paragraph or two. Especially we're talking about nonfiction books. It's not like you need to, do that much intro to set up a story or something. No, you just want to say, this has got useful information. Here it is. Let's go. Ba, 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 ba. It's helpful also to include the history of the topic because you understand nutrition better when you know the history of Kempner and Pritikin and Burkitt and Swank and McDougall and Esselstyn and some of these other old-time guys, Gregory Sloop, okay, William Roberts, Richard Moore, okay, and other great ones. Let's see, what else? Support arguments, have the references, at least some references to support the things you're saying. Let's see, what else? Put it in a narrative or story form to the extent you can. It usually is more entertaining if there's some conflict, some type of villain. The villain could be the big drug company, the big food company, the big industry that's, putting crap into their food or their water or something else. A Q&A format can help, a summary at the end, the chapters at the end of the book, knowing how to use rhetoric as a writer to make it, impact boosters. Put in a couple quotes of some famous people in there that match the topic. And that's basically it, rhymes and puns to make things more memorable. So I'm doing all that. I'm trying to make my books really good because I know I'll never be popular, I'll always be an outcast, but I also recognize I could be the best writer of all this stuff because the magnificent guys, a lot of these guys are one-trick ponies like Esselstyn, T. Colin Campbell, and then the guys that really have the polymath, sort of Renaissance man, universal genius guys like, McDougall. McDougall's not around anymore, and most of these other guys, in order to make money doing this full time, they got to sell out. I used to do it as a hobby, so I've got to sell out. Anyways, hope you found that helpful.